Howdy guys, it's Joe here, and today I'm a little bit frustrated, a little bit flabbergasted about the lack of changes for a certain hero in Overwatch. And this hero really hasn't gotten many changes for quite a long time. He did get a nerf while he was about a middle tier character, but that's about it. And what is this person? Well, it's of course actually going to be Soldier 76. And why I'm talking about Soldier 76 right now of all times is because lately, we pretty much just saw this today, or at least a few days ago, Planet Overwatch updated their competitive play rate or competitive play use of every hero. And Soldier had like almost 0% play rate in competitive, or at least in the pro scene or anything like that. And that's really annoying to me. Now, personally, I really like Soldier 76. I think he's fun. And seeing him being played over the characters that we traditionally thought of, pretty bad or pretty unusable. I mean, he's below people like, Torbjorn, people like Symmetra, Bastion. All those characters are played more than, Soldier 76. And also, Widowmaker, which, Jeff said was balanced now, so that's kind of funny. But yeah. Soldier's below all these characters. Soldier's literally the least played competitive hero in the game. And this is really sad for me. Now, the reason why I think that this did end up happening is that a while ago, even when the game came out, Soldier was about, a middle tier character. He was average, he was decent, you could play him, but he wasn't really the best. And then for some reason, Overwatch, they decided, let's nerf Soldier. Let's make so that Soldier has much less accuracy for the most part. And he went down quite a bit in the tier list. And then a little bit later on, they gave him the kind of like burst fire change, which I thought was a buff at the time. I was completely wrong. That burst fire change is a huge nerf. And now it's left Soldier as a character that really doesn't benefit at most ranges. He really loses at the majority of ranges in the game. And I feel like that's where his really big problem is right now. Now, the thing about Soldier right now is that he doesn't really win close range. People like McCree can beat him, people like Reaper can beat him. Of course, he has a little bit of burst with his right click, which is good, but his regular gun just really isn't meant way too much for close range. Other than that, people normally would think he's good at medium range, but as it is right now, there's almost no reason to pick Soldier in medium range other than just playing in McCree. And as well, since we have a 2 to 3 healer meta right now, the self-heal is nice, but with so many healers running around anyway, it's better to just have a lot of damage in your DPS than a bit of a self-heal. So yeah, and his accuracy is just much less than McCree. He can't get as many consistent headshots, and he has less DPS in general at middle range. And then of course at far range, which I feel like they really kind of wanted Soldier to be originally, he's very non-accurate anymore. You can try to stop shooting, shoot, but even at that, he really isn't way too accurate, and he isn't as accurate as he once was, where he had, almost perfect accuracy, where he was still in the middle tier. He wasn't even that overpowered when he had like perfect accuracy, but as it is right now, he doesn't really have that great of accuracy at far range, and most people can outbeat him. And again, McCree can beat him pretty easily out, farther ranges. Ana could actually beat him decently easily enough. I've been playing a lot of Ana, and whenever the enemy team picks up Soldier, you can pretty easily outsnipe him at far ranges. And the problem about this is that there's really no amazing time to pick Soldier right now. There's really no big benefit about picking Soldier. He's a pretty good character, but he's just not really that great at anything right now. And really, you should just be picking Ana, you should just be picking someone like McCree over him. And that really angers me. I love Soldier. Soldier's probably my favorite type of gun in the game. I really like the way his gun shoots. I like how it's just, a normal gun, how you can track the enemy, shoot them at medium and far ranges, or at least you used to be able to. But as it is right now, Soldier can't do much. As well with this, he doesn't really have a high impact ult, which also does lead to the problem that it's just not the strongest at all times. He's not one of those characters that, can really rely on his ultimate, as his ult's only, about medium power. And yeah, right now as it is, he's really not doing way too well, and it kind of frustrates me. It frustrates me especially because there's almost no other attack characters that are this low. The other lowest attack character is Pharah, who's always been a little bit lower. She's a bit more situational, flying character with rockets. That's a bit more situational. But the thing is, Soldier should not be a situational character. Soldier should be about middle tier, played a middle amount of time, and, not really be way too situational. You should be able to pick him up just about any time because, he's like the average character. But as it is right now, he's played even less than the super situational people. He's even played less than, of course, as said again, Symmetra, who's only really played on the first point of maps. Soldier's still under that, at least in the, competitive scene. Now, I know that, this doesn't really apply 100% to regular competitive, to your games, to my games. But at the same time, I feel like I really haven't seen Soldier be able to do way too well even in my own games. And as well, when I have a Soldier on my team and the enemy team has a McCree, or, you swap that, I feel like McCree is just better in most situations, and almost all situations, which shouldn't be how the game is right now. Now, what I kind of wish that they would do to Soldier is give him back a better effective range. Now, what I'd personally like for his good effective range to be would be, further than McCree, but less far than someone like Widowmaker or someone like Ana. Like far, medium to far range, instead of, where he is right now, where he's just kind of awkward at all ranges. The only really easy way to hit people right now, I guess, is to be close to melee range as him, or really kind of medium range. But even there, your shots just really aren't way too accurate. So really kind of what I just wish would happen with this character is that he'd get a lot more accurate. I don't really feel like he needs way too much more damage. I feel that's really fine. As long as he can get a few more headshots from, just being more accurate, that would probably balance him up to where he really needs to be. And of course, he wouldn't be the best character in the game, but he would be playable. And one thing that I thought that, if they don't want to just buff his accuracy, if they want to do something different, something even further, what they could do is make a pretty big change so that, when you're swinging your arm right to left right now, as you already do in the game, you have really low accuracy, or at least you have the accuracy that you have right now. But what they could do is, even as a passive or something like that, they could make so that when you stop moving, you become a lot more accurate when you stop moving your crosshair way too much. Of course, you still could move your crosshair a little bit to the left, or, a decent amount to the left and the right. But this would be kind of cool, as it would make so you wouldn't really want to be all close range. You would be decent at medium range, and of course, at a little bit further ranges, you would be a lot more accurate. You'd be able to get some more of those shots, and you'd be a really nice medium to far-ish, more medium range character. And yeah, when you're at medium ranges, you don't have to move your mouse as much, so you'd of course be able to, snipe people quite a bit easier. And once you're close up, you just won't be quite as strong. You'll be just about as accurate as you are right now, which really isn't way too much. And yeah, I feel like that would be, kind of a cool change. Just make so there's a bit of a swerve on him, and see how that kind of works out. Maybe test that, try it out. If it works, that'd be awesome. If not, then whatever. But yeah, I feel like mainly he does just need an accuracy boost. And if they do want to make him, really meta right now, I guess they could give him a damage boost, but I don't know. I don't really feel like Soldier needs that way too much. Mainly, it's just that he doesn't have enough accuracy to really beat out someone like McCree. I also have this problem a lot. I'll be playing Soldier 76. I'll try to go into a ranked game, and the enemy team has a Pharah. Soldier's a hit scan character. You're supposed to be able to counter to the Pharah. But the problem is right now, for some reason, he's so inaccurate. Even when your mouse is straight on the characters, it'll shoot way to the right, way to the left. Some bullets will hit the Pharah, but it takes quite a while to kill her. And it's just much quicker to just go with someone like a McCree and just shoot her, twice, 3 times in the head and instantly kill her. Yeah, that's my problem right now. You're not really accurate enough. And of course, Soldier is always going to be kind of, like the McCree that you don't have to aim quite as well with. And I'm really fine with that. I really like how you have a bit more time, to get your aim on. You can miss a few shots and still be fine. But they do need to make the character accurate enough that you're usable. He's just not really the best right now. And of course, a lot of people are playing Soldier right now. They're still enjoying the character. They're still having some fun with the character. But I really just want him to become a little bit better. I really love this guy. He's my favorite, attack guy. He's my favorite shooter. And having him getting a little bit of buffs to buff his accuracy will be really, really nice. Now, of course, as it is right now, in our normal competitive games, in our normal quick play games, there still is a decent amount of Soldier 76. You see him quite often, and he is just the character that a lot of people pick up. But I feel like really adding an accuracy boost wouldn't really make him overplayed. Even if they made him just as accuracy dependent as he was before, where he had decent enough accuracy. I don't really feel like that would change the meta at all below Diamond or even below Masters. But above those tiers, then you can have a nice accuracy boost. It would really appease those players, and it would just make them a lot happier about the character. And I feel like even, in the lower tiers, people would be happy about having their character be able to hit a lot more shots. Especially when I'm playing with certain friends. They're kind of annoyed how Soldier doesn't hit way too many shots. They're looking at the enemy, they're holding down the button, they're thinking that they should be getting the headshots, should be at least getting body shots, and they're just getting nothing out of it, even when they are aiming correctly. So I do kind of wish that there would be a bit of a change there, and that something would be updated, mainly just the accuracy. And this really just came from the fact that he's being played so little, and I do want to see him played a little bit more. Anyways, tell me what you guys think about Soldier 76, how you would buff him, maybe make those ultimate charges way less so you have your ultimate more often, but you normally have bad accuracy, that could be a change. There's a lot of stuff that could be changed in this, and I do want to know your guys' opinions. As well with that, if you enjoyed the video, as always, leave a like, press subscribe if you want to see any more tip videos, any more update videos, or any more videos kind of like this, just talking about characters, talking about the balance, and talking a bit about the meta. And as always, have a wonderful day.